What's good? What's good? What's good, trappers? It's your boy, the Wallstreet Trappin, man, and welcome to another amazing episode of Trappin Tuesday, man. Let's go, man. Hey, listen. Before we get started tonight, man, y'all know what I gotta say. It's thank y'all, man. Thank y'all for allowing us to come into y'all homes. Thank y'all for allowing us to come into your cars, in your living rooms. Y'all know Jose like when y'all in the living room on the TV. I just want to say thank y'all for that, man, because without y'all, there is no us. Without y'all, there is no Trappin Tuesday. Without y'all, there is definitely no Wall Street Trapper. So tonight, this whole episode is about bringing awareness to breast cancer. We want to say, we want to send our hearts, our prayers, our love out to everyone who is battling that, everyone who has lost someone dear to the disgusting sickness. We want to say our hearts go out to you tonight. You know what I'm saying? We rocking the Jesus Weeps pink for y'all, just to show y'all that we love y'all, we appreciate y'all, and we adore y'all. So for that, we want to just tell y'all one more time, thank y'all, you hear me? All right, so I got something dope I want to say. I want to get into this, man. It's really on my mind, right? And I want to start with, what if I told you freedom wasn't fair, is actually a fight? Freedom isn't fair because it is actually a fight. It is a fight where you, the individual, you, the person, actually you have to fight that fight alone. That's right. You have to fight for the freedom of your family alone. Your family and the people who you fight for freedom for only can receive the blessing that you have battled for. Okay. Now let's get into it. When you come to the market as a new investor or a new trader or a new entrepreneur, immediately in your mind, you say, I want freedom. I want financial freedom. I want time freedom. I want peace freedom. I want that freedom. And when you look at the traders, they're looking for the laptop lifestyle. That's what they sell them. It's the laptop lifestyle. It's the cell phone lifestyle. It's the 6-figure green years and the 6-figure green month and the 5-figure day and the first 100,000 and all of the lavish things that buy you in, but nobody tells you that the freedom is a fight that's perpetual. Right? Because while you are one trade away from changing your life, you're also one trade away from being in a deeper hole than when you started. You're one trade away from wiping it all away. You're one wrong investment away from losing everything that you ever had. You're one bad business decision away from regretting that you ever even started a business. See, that's the thing that they don't tell you about. But what I want to tell you is, the fight for freedom isn't just your fight for money or your fight for time. Your fight for freedom is actually an endless fight against your fear. The thing that you fear the most is what freedom will make you face. See, traders fear losing money. So every trade that they make, they think the wins make them disregard the fear. What happens is the wins mask the fear. And you see the fear show itself the day the market turns red. See, the business owner is actually really good while the business is doing well and while the products are selling. But the minute the business slows down, the fear of losing it all is prevalent again. And the thing that you fear the most doesn't come when you're the happiest. It comes when the business or the investment faces adversity. So the fight for freedom is an endless fight against your fear. So I'm gonna say this different. Tonight's episode is about the fear of freedom. I'm gonna dig deep with this. I gotta go biblical here. The Israelites wanted freedom as long as they was in bondage. Because what happens is, when you're fantasizing about freedom, it's marvelous. It comes with no adversity. It comes with, pretty skies, and it comes with all the things that you can imagine because the imagination paints a world that is so beautiful. But what they didn't realize was the prison actually had transformed into comfort. Now you be like, how, Trap? I'm making these bricks without straw. I'm on the job from 9 to 5 and I'm working overtime because I gotta pay the bills. I'm working 7-12, I'm working 6-12, Trap. I'm working 2 jobs, Trap. There's no comfort here. I want out now. Well, what happens when you get out? Because when you get out and you realize how dangerous it is, the first thing that you want to do is what? Go back. It's easier to go back. Because watch this. When you go back to the familiar. And the familiar doesn't look as scary as the wilderness does. The familiar doesn't look as dreadful as the wilderness does. The familiar doesn't look as uncomfortable as the wilderness does. The familiar came with a steady paycheck. The familiar came with a steady meal. The familiar made you say, okay, I might have more months left than money, but at least I got some money. The familiar was a little easier to take than the wilderness, because in the wilderness, you didn't know where the next meal was coming from. In the wilderness, you don't know where the shelter's coming from. In the wilderness, you don't know where you're going to sleep at the night. So the wilderness becomes scary. It becomes dreadful. It's unfamiliar. So in reality, there's a fear of freedom right there. There's a fear of freedom right there. There's a fear of freedom right there. But here's what I want you to understand about the unfamiliar. Here's what I want you to understand about the wilderness. In the wilderness, God is trying to break your dependence on Egypt so you can have more dependence on him. I want to slow that down for you. In the wilderness, God is trying to break your dependence on Egypt so you can increase your dependence on him. The reason you go back is not because of the fear. You go back because you have a dependence on the familiar. So that's why when things get tough, the first thing you say is, I'm gonna go back to the job for 6 months. I'm gonna go back to the job just so I can stack my bread back up. I'm gonna just get another job right quick so I can watch this. Let me build up 6 months of security. That's the one. That's the go-to. Let me build up the emergency 6 months worth of bills. Well, the wilderness, watch this. God will put you in the wilderness and make you run through them 6 months of stacked up money for bills. Because you still depending on what you stored instead of depending on me. You dependent on what you put up. I ain't tell you depend on that. That's why I always laugh when people say, before you quit your job, have 6 months worth of bill. How? The unfamiliar will require you to use all of that. Because as long as you dependent on that, you ain't dependent on me. That's what God is saying to you. So the wilderness is about breaking your dependence on the familiar so you can depend on your faith. All right, let's go deeper. I want us to go deeper into that. In order to break your dependence on the familiar, in order to face your fear of freedom, one of the first things we have to do is break the habit that being in the familiar has created. Okay. Watch me here. In order to face your fear of freedom, see, the thing is, you don't know you fear freedom because all you doing is look at the upside, right? So you don't know it. Like, yep, I'm gonna be free. This is it, right? So what happens is, while you in the familiar, you've created habits, right? One of the habits of the familiar is you count your hours because you know how much money you can spend based on how much time you worked, right? And in the familiar, you go to bed at a certain time because you know you got to get up at a certain time. In the familiar, watch this, you dictate how long you can stay on vacation because you know you got to come back to pay bills, right? So what the unfamiliar got to do is it got to break all them habits so you can face what it takes to be free. Right? Watch this. The bills ain't gonna never stop. Right? So watch this. In the familiar, you think about, well, the bills ain't gonna never stop. In the unfamiliar, you say they're gonna get taken care of. I'm walking in purpose, see, the familiar makes you put obstacles in the way to keep you in the box. The unfamiliar makes you say, I'm gonna figure it out in the wilderness. I'm gonna figure it out in the wilderness. The familiar makes you put unfamiliar circumstances. Oh my God. The familiar makes you put circumstances that aren't there so that they can anchor you to the familiar. Oh man, I hope I said that right. Let me say it again. To keep you in the familiar, you start putting things in place before you even leave the unfamiliar. Let me make that make sense to you. The Israelites said, Moses, why have you brung us to in the wilderness where we don't have no security when we could have died in Egypt? That's what they said. Like, wait, what? Like you was gonna die in Egypt too? But I'd rather die in Egypt where there's certainty. Watch this. Freedom is the most uncertain thing you can ever step into. You have to fight for it every day. Here's an example. Oof. God, help me right here. Every day in the wilderness. Let me back up right quick. The minute they stepped foot out of Pharaoh's palace, they was free. Not only were they free, he gave them everything they needed to survive. The only thing that wasn't free was their heart posture and their mind. The minute they walked out of Pharaoh's palace, they was free and they had everything they needed. Everything. The only thing that was not free was their heart posture and their mind. How do we know? Because when they left Egypt, he gave them all, Pharaoh gave them gold. They took the whole GDP of Egypt with them. They took the whole GDP. They took gold, they took silver, they took calves, they took sheep, they took goat, they took fine linen, they took silk, they took everything they belonged and they took it with them. So they had everything they needed. They had generational wealth. They didn't even owe Pharaoh no taxes. The only thing that was still in bondage was their heart and their mind. Okay, so what, but that's them, Trap. What that got to do with me? The minute that you decide to step into freedom, you already free. The problem is your habits ain't free. The problem is the mentality ain't free. The problem is your heart posture ain't free. So if your heart posture ain't free and your mentality ain't free, of course you still ain't free. I don't care if you make $100 grand in the market. I don't care if you make $10 in the market. If your heart posture ain't free, if your mentality ain't free, if your habits is still in the familiar, then your fear of freedom is what you'll forever be anchored to. So watch this. They got the whole GDP of Egypt with them. They got generational wealth with them. Now watch this. This is the part that's even more crazy. They had enough gold, silver, cattle, livestock with them. They already, watch this. When they finally got to the promised land, 40 years later, it was already equipped. It never said that they, so watch this. This thing nobody ever says. Watch this. They never had to go re-up on nothing. They never had to go back to Egypt and get nothing. They never had to stop in this town over here and get nothing. When they got to the promised land, they was already strapped with everything they needed. Oh my God. What, Trap, I just want you to understand that everything you need, he's already supplied you with it. The only thing that he can't break you from is your mindset. You got to do that on your own, and you keep allowing your fear of freedom to keep you to going into the unfamiliar. So tonight what I need you to do is, tonight I need you to walk with me. Tonight I need us to take the journey together. Tonight, I need us to all walk from Egypt to the promised land and not look back. Tonight, I want us to take every stride we gotta take, and every time our mind says we won't go back, I need the other part of your mind to say, but it's worth it to keep going. I need you to dig in your heart posture and say, it's worth it to keep going. I need you to, every time you think that the loss is gonna hurt you, I need you to say, this is necessary. The loss is me splitting the Red Sea and walking. Watch this. When I say you the last one to get it out the mud, when he split the Red Sea, I want you to think about something. When you split the Red Sea, at the bottom of the Red Sea is what? It got to be mud. It got to be mud at the bottom of the Red Sea. It ain't concrete down there. It got to be mud. It been mud. It's squishy down there. But for some reason, nobody thinks about the fact that with all the gold, with all the silver, with all the horses, with all the children. Nobody stayed in the mud. Nobody got trapped in the mud. So I need you to say to yourself, I'm the last one to get it out the mud. Everybody else gonna get it out the market. So tonight, I need your fear of freedom. I need you to disregard that moving forward. For every trade you make, I need you to say, it's worth it. For every investment you make, I need you to say, it's worth it. And I need you to look back and say, they not getting it out the mud because of me. I need you to take on that. I need you to be the pioneer. I need you to be the one that sets everybody. Listen, I need you to take on the burden of what it takes to be the one to turn your last name into an asset. And that means you got to face the freedom, fear with faith. That's it. That's it. That's it. I need you to face it with a type of courage that freedom fighters have. Freedom is the most expensive thing we'll ever have to pay for, because we don't just pay for it monetarily. We pay for it spiritually, we pay for it mentally, and we pay for it emotionally. And every day we wake up, you gotta pay for it. Because somebody always trying to take it away from us. Pharaoh chased them down. It wasn't until God stepped in. And the problem is, it tells us that he don't give us the spirit of fear. So anything that's chasing us, we're supposed to face it boldly. Anything that's trying to evict us from freedom, we're supposed to chase it boldly. Because we know for a fact that the promised land is only a journey away. It's your boy, Wallstreet Trappin, man. Episode 163. We in a building, man. Jose, let's go, dog.
Ooh,
Hey.
Look. I got Benson on the headphones in there catching the Holy Spirit. He worse than me. Glory. Hallelujah.
Not glory. Not glory.
Praise his name.
Not glory.
He go.
Man, not glory, bro. Don't let him do you that, B. B, don't let him do you that. He say glory. Glory. Glory.
How you feeling, man? Got the Jesus Tears pink on.
Got the Jesus Tears pink on.
We got them on the site.
Come on, man. We got it on the site, man. Y'all know 50% off on the merch. Get your merch. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate the super chat. William GT, Freddie Cruz, we appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? What's good? Let's shout out our people right quick, man. So we got, let's see, Y in Stocks, that's my guy. Double R, I saw you with the man. I saw you. Nat, was good, love? It's my girl in the building, man. Mo, I see you. Thank you for the super chat. Lenora was good. Fred Ross was good. Nettie was good. What's up, Nettie, man? I ain't seen you in a minute, love. That one guy was good. The realest Breezy was good. Jermaine Combs was good. Jose, we got 2,500 people in the chat right quick on the open up. We love that. You know what I'm saying? Mac, yeah. What's up, Mac? I see you. Paul Bricks was good. Belina, what's up? Love KT Tactical. I see you. My shooters is in the building. Yoshi was good. January Finance was good. Bud T was good. Steven Simon was good. Carolina Blue, I see you. D, what's poppin', fam? Armani was good. Kelly was good. Pascal was good. Dancing Diamonds, I see you, family. Shout out my queen, man. She give us a super chat. We love it. We love it. You've been slipping on us, too, you heard me? You've been skimping us, you heard me? You've been skimping us. You hear me? Tamara Buchanan was good. Brittany the Investor was good. Linwood Miller was good. Uncut Raw was good. Eric the OG was good. Kiara was good, love. Man, Kiara been rocking me for a long time. Tell my girl I say what's up. Junior Cruz was good. Nate the Great was good. Carlos Ross was good. VG was good. Goodfella Auto Sales was good. I see y'all in the building, man. Uncle T was good, family. SB was good. Will Mack was good. Chop Fellas was good. You know I'm gonna shout y'all out as much as I can, you hear me? Ashley was good. That's my girl. Ash was good. Autumn Phoenix, what's good, love? Oh, my Trappers Anonymous family in the building. I see y'all. Davion was good. B. Rich was good. Mac was good. Bernard was good. Bernard, that's you? Oh, I see you right there. Stock Stack, Cheesy Bread, what's good, family? Shout out to my guy, Cheesy Bread, man. Davion, what's good, man? I see y'all in the building, man.
I need all the Trappers Anonymous and Patreon to put fire in the chat real quick.
Trappers Anonymous and Patreon. If you're in Trappers Anonymous or you're in Patreon, Jose said just throw some fire in the chat. Let's flame the ass right quick. I love it. If you're in Trappers Anonymous or you're in Patreon, just throw some fire in the chat. Hey, we got a really good show out tonight. Let's definitely let's. Yeah, let's get it. All right, so, Jose, we got a lot to talk about tonight. Tonight, we got some stuff to talk about tonight, Jose. We're gonna talk about, I'm gonna bring up something tonight that's really interesting to talk about, and it's called a UBI, Universal Basic Income. I think that's gonna be important for us to talk about tonight because I think we may be headed there, and I think that Trump is actually testing it out now. It's something I want to talk about. I be doing research. You ever heard that before?
Hell no, I heard of, never mind.
Yeah, so I want to talk about that, man. I want to talk about this bull market run that we on. I think that's going to be essential. Yeah. So we're going to talk about some AI. You know, we got to talk about AI. We're going to break down. I got a stock chart that I want us to see that's going to be important. I want us to check that out too. So we got some stuff to talk about tonight, man. So let's get into the show. Let's start off with our, we got to start off with the mantra, Jose. We got to start off with the mantra. How you feel though, bro?
Man, I'm feeling good. I told you the other day in the morning.
The other day in the morning.
I saw my first abs.
Bro, we're not doing that on the show.
I'm just saying. You asked me how I was feeling. I was feeling good. I saw my first abs, bro. The workouts and the eating right is working now. Shout out to my girl. She in the chat.
Oh, my God.
Hey, look, I ain't had an ab my whole life.
Do you got the ab or was you just hungry?
No, I got an ab.
A ab.
No, it's a couple of them.
So I learned something. though. I saw somebody say something that was real cool. He said, anybody can have the top 2 abs, but you can't have the bottom 2 without having them. So until you get the bottom 2, you ain't got nothing.
You mean the little Tyrese V?
No, the abs at the bottom.
That's what I'm saying, the little...
Not the V, but I don't know about the V, but I'm talking about the 2 abs at the bottom. That's what I heard.
Okay. I'm gonna check when I get home.
Yeah, it's what it is.
Let's get to the mantra.
Get to the mantra, man. But I got some, bro, you know, I think tonight's show gonna be really good, bro. Like, I think that there's a lot going on. Ooh, that look trash. We got a lot going on in the market. I think we're in another bear market. We're in a heavy bull market. I think we got a lot going on. So I think people need to hear about what's going on. Gold going crazy. We've been killing this gold trade. I think we have about 50 grand on this gold trade. What is it? I be having stuff. I don't even know what that is, man. Got my guy in the building. He bring his wife in the building. What's good, Queen? How you feeling? What's up, bro? Baby girl sleep? Ah, precious, man. Man, I'm going to see my daughter this week, man. I miss my baby. I saw my daughter last week. That was amazing. All right, let's get to it, man. Y'all know how we started off. I am a certified Wall Street trapper. I'm confident in my ability to make great investments. The stock market is a machine that prints money, and I'm more than capable of operating this machine. Not only would I free myself, but my family will eat for a lifetime based on the information I apply today. I'm a money maker and a wealth builder. Today, I break all the chains that anchor me to that poverty mindset. My ancestors will smile now because I've turned my last name into an asset. My family's purchasing power will increase indefinitely. Today, I make the declaration that no longer will I be a slave to money, no longer will the generations behind me inherit lack, no longer will I submit to selling my time for money. I am a first-generation millionaire. I am the architect of my family's legacy. I am a certified Wall Street trapper, and Wall Street looks like us now. Let's go, man. Let's go. I like it. I like it, 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 I like it. I like it. I like it. Roxanne, what's good? Gabrielle Davis, what's good? I see y'all, I see y'all. All right, so let's start off. So we saw AMD had, let's get on the chart right quick. I know y'all want to see that. So we'll get on this chart right quick. We'll make this work. Everybody good? Everybody good? All right. So we get on the chart right quick, and we'll run through this right quick. I know this is going to be important for everybody. I know that the people want to see this. I know that, this has been one of those things that has been extremely, you know what I like, bro? I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I made a post today, and I said something to my people. I said, you should never chase a run-up. You should never chase this run-up, right? And I think a lot of times, especially, let me rephrase that. When a stock gaps up, you shouldn't chase it. Let me rephrase that. Because a run-up can get you into a continuation and you can still make money there. But when a stock gaps up from an overnight gap, you don't want to chase that. You can become trapped in that. And I think the chart gonna show us where some people definitely got trapped. And they still trapped. All right. Is it like that on theirs? They good? That's all that matters. We can figure it out. All right, so what I want to do is I want to get on this AMD. We're going to start off on the daily. I'm going to just start there so we can get straight into it, right? So watch this, y'all. Now, don't be bothering me about this. Let me see something. I might help y'all out. All right, there y'all go. I'm going to help y'all out for a second. There y'all go. I'm going to help y'all out. All right, so here's what we're going to look at first and foremost. So we're going to look at this daily right quick. So two things you see we're going to have marked off right quick. One, we got that all-time high marked off. You know what I'm saying? So the all-time high got hit back in March. So we got this all-time high marked off. We got to mark that off because that's essential for us to see that. We need to see that. We need to know that. We need to understand that. We need to have an idea around that. So we got that marked off, and y'all can see it on the screen. On my back screen back there. All right, and so what we saw was, I want to show you something on this screen right quick. If we go back to that markup, here's what we see. If we go, I'm going to point something out that's going to be essential for us to see. I'm going to point something out. We have an all-time high right here. And then watch this. We have a lower high. We have a lower high right here. And then, watch this, we have a low here. Now, watch this. Until we get back here, the market is still contextually from a macro perspective, which is the big perspective, still in the downtrend. Until it breaks that, you're still in a downtrend, right? But then you see something, right? Then you get this right here. Now, in your mind, you might think, oh, market running back up. But until we essentially break that previous one, we are still in that downtrend. And then what happens is, from there, watch this, we get another what? Lower high. Then we get another one here, and it follows suit. And it follows suit. Now, in your mind, you thinking, okay, something else that happens that you see right there is, watch this, you also see that the market is under my 20 SMA, which is important. I use it all the time, right? That helps me understand, for the most part, who's in control. And then what you see is here, we get that lower, and also it's followed by a series of what? Lower lows, right? So just contextually, we see exactly what's going on right now. Now, Here's going to be something that's important. From here, now you have what's called a micro trend that's happening, which means you have a smaller trend happening inside of the overall trend. Am I making sense in the chat? Am I making sense in the chat? So we have a smaller trend that is taking place inside of the larger overall trend, right? Oh, we got the big screens on? Oh, y'all shining like white diamond right now. Y'all acting like new money right now. Okay. All right, so now here's what happens here. Let me do this right quick so I can open this up. All right, so now a key point right here will be this right here, right? So now, in order for, now you still have a downtrend that is now transforming, but you need to see some things take place. So the first thing you see is the buyers push it up over this first lower high right here. Boom. So you see that and you say, okay, we got some action. That tells us buyers are now what? They've regained some control, right? They fought for themselves. So what I want to see, and I'm just telling a story, we gonna go hindsight so we can go forward. Y'all know my saying is always what? Before you move right, you gotta look left. Because if you understand what's going on the left, it'll tell you exactly how to move right. Now, the thing about me is I've said this forever, like, I'm not a fan of AMD like that. And the reason why I'm not a fan of it like that is just because I just think the fundamentals are really just trash, right? And I showed it a million times. But I will say, I know people who are like, what's the word I want to say here? Like ecstatic about AMD. Like they be like, AMD, Lisa Su, and I'd be like, bruh, what? So a guy told me this morning, he said, nobody wanted AMD at $70, but now everybody wanted it at $218. I said, shit, not me. It can stay over there. Like it can run to the moon. I don't care. And I think one of the things that we got to do as traders is you got to tell yourself, like, if you don't rock with something, you don't rock with it. You don't got to chase it because there's 6,000 more stocks you can go get some money on. So if I don't rock with something, I'm just not going to rock with it. And I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm okay with that. So when people are like, man, I wish I'd have been in that trade. I was like, yo, make the trade. I'm not got to make the trade. I'm all right. You know what I'm saying? Because I like companies like ASML. I like companies like, you know what I'm saying, Goldman Sachs, NVIDIA. And I've been in their run-ups. So I don't be scared to miss a run-up. You know what I'm saying? Somebody said, you tripping, AMD here to stay. So is NVIDIA, so is ASML, so is KLAC. So I could go on and on. So is Cadence Design, so is App Loving. I could go on and on and on. I never said they was going nowhere. I don't think they about to go bankrupt tomorrow, right? That don't mean I need to be a part of it, right? That's what that means. Now, when it surpasses stocks that I love, then I'll say, okay, maybe so. When the balance sheet get better, I'll be like, okay, cool. Has it made people money? Of course. I think that's the bias that people don't understand. I never said it's not going to be here. Of course it's going to be here. But look at AVGO, Broadcom. I like companies that have positive earnings. I like companies that have positive cash flow. I like companies that are profitable. I like those type of companies, right? Am I saying she's a bad... I think Lisa Su's she's the first cousin of Ginseng Wang. Of course she understands what she's doing, right? Brilliance running a family, 100%. It's just not a company that I'm crazy about. But I never talk bad about it because if you're going to make money, make money. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, let's get back to it. So now you see the sellers doing it. So now the next thing you want to see the sellers do is you want to see them come across this right here. Boom. So now what happens is we get a series of what? We get a higher high, then we set another higher high. And then you see them do what? They break this. So now you have another series, higher high, higher high, higher high. Sellers are now in control of this, right? But remember, you want them to see them break this 187. So that 187 is what I will call complete control, right? 187 gives them complete control. Watch something that happens here. Stock runs up to 187, runs into that same resistance and does what? Sell off again. So here's what happens. Gets to 187, watch this. Buyers come in late at 187, think it's gonna break 187. There's a bunch of stops up there. Guess what happens? Sellers defend the 187, push it all the way back down. Then what? Buyers regain momentum. All right, and that's what I mean getting into the details of each candle story. Now I want to get to where we are right now. Now I want to get to where we are right now. Watch this. This is the important part to where we are right now. So here we are. We are in this phase right here. Now, I'm going to talk to you all about something right here that I want you all to see, because here's the one thing I've learned. If you can tell a story, if you can learn a couple things about how to tell a story, to see what the candles are telling you, I call it candle communication. If you can tell a story with the candles, then you can see what's going on. If you can see what's going on, you understand how to move. And that's all I want you all to see. Jose, 3,000 people in the chat. We love that. All right, so here's what we see. So if you was in AMD before the gap up, which was Monday, you had your eyes set. You should have had your eyes set on 187. So if you've been in AMD before the gap up, your eyes was it'll probably get to 187 and then it'll sell off. It's probably what you thought, right? And that's not a bad estimate. It's not a bad estimate because it showed us that it has got to that number, it has gotten to that area on the chart, and then what did it do? Sellers stepped in, which means sellers defended that area really, really well. So what we see is a couple things happen. One, we see it's above the 20, which is cool. So if you're a buyer of AMD, you see it jump above that 20, you like, oh, we got action. So what you probably do is you set your trade, you probably set your stop, you probably say, hey, it's probably gonna get to 187 again. I'll probably get out at 180, 185, or put my loss at, if you're a seller, you like, I'm cool, 187 and a sell off, I'm gonna play it to the downside. So you probably got some people thinking, because the market thinks like the market knows how the average trader thinks. They know that. So what happens? The news comes out. I love to say this. And you'll notice this a lot of times. In order for certain stocks, let me reword this a different way. You'll notice that news often comes out around certain stocks when it's time for them to break key areas or fall at key areas. That's good. That's good. That's good. So the news comes out, and what happens? They kick the door in and push them past the 187. It actually pushes it all the way to an all-time high. Now watch this. This is the amazing part I love right here. At 226, a lot of buyers woke up that day, saw that gap up, and said, oh, we about to run. And guess what happened? They got trapped. You see that big red candle Monday morning? That means it gapped up, boom. You saw the gap up, you hopped in. And then it went from 226 to 203. So now here's what happens here. Let me tell you how the candle exploded. Because when people realized that they was trapped in there, it became pressure. And some people sold off. They're like, you know what? I'm getting out of here. I see we trapped. What happens is, though, the trap buyers that release themselves from the pressure add to the fuel of that candle pushing down. Oh, this is good. I'm telling. Now we telling a story. Now we just on a daily. Now we telling the story. So now that large red candle tells us that sellers defended 226, defended all-time high, and they trapped a whole bunch of late buyers. So people like, my patron was like, Trap, what we doing with AMD? I'm like, I'm not about to touch that. There's no way I'm about to touch that. That thing jumped from 160, 170 to 226. There's no way I jump in there. There's no way I jump in there. Because I want you to tell yourself something. I want you to listen to me well here. Listen to me well here. If you're late, it's a good chance I'm going to get 8. Come on. Come on. If I'm late, it's a good chance I'm going to get what? 8. Come on, man. Heal my niggas, man. Because they trapped in them. They trapped in them. Now, let's go a little further. Let's go a little further. Let's go a little further. So, watch this. Watch this. So then there were people saying, ooh, I'm glad I ain't jumping that. So here's what happened. This morning, it jumps up to 214. It opens at 214. Guess what happens then? The people who was late, that was trapped, they said, we got the gap up. We gonna rally back to 226. So watch this. It opens at, let me mark it right quick. It opens at 213, 214. It goes all the way up to 219. Guess what happens then? You get some more late buyers in. Because guess what they say? Oh, we gapped up. We going back up. In their mind, guess what they saw? They saw a confirmation. They saw an opening green candle. That's what they saw. And when they saw the opening green candle, they said, it got to be going back to 226. But guess what happened? They got trapped. I'm locked up. They won't let me out. They won't let me out. I'm locked up, they won't let me out. Oh.
Wait, you felt that one from your soul, though. Like, I thought you was going to hit the first measure, but you went into...
I kept going. I wanted the last part. Oh. I thought that part was going to be it. I thought that was the part that was going to bring everybody in. I thought we were going to come together. That was a kumbaya moment, Jose. You missed it. You missed the kumbaya moment.
I definitely missed it.
You missed the kumbaya moment, dog. All right, so here we go. Here we go. Let's just tell the story. So then what happens is the late buyers come in for the second day and the sellers defend that as well. Now here's what we got to look at. We mark out 203 and 226. Why? That's the previous day's high, previous day's low. Now the buyers have an obligatory duty to defend 203. They got to defend 203. It's a must that you defend 203. Right? Now, let's draw this out right quick. I'm just walking y'all on a journey. Because now, there's a huge gap right there. And now they want money too. There's orders that's a lot. Listen, from 270 to 203, that's a lot of orders that's missed. It's a lot of orders that they want part of them orders want some of that action. So now there's a couple things that got to happen right here. So now we still on a daily. In here, you got 3 zones you got to protect. So the sellers, they wanna push this down. The buyers have a couple areas that they gotta defend. They gotta defend 203. If they break 203, they definitely gotta defend 187. Now 187 puts them 50% inside of that box. In the trap, we always say, protect the box, fam. It gotta protect the box, right? So what I want you to understand is buyers have an obligation to protect 203, but for them to regain control, they gotta get back on top of 218. I'm mapping this out for you. That way you ain't trying to chase nothing. You know exactly what you're looking at. All right, let's go a little further right quick. We're gonna go to the daily, the 1 hour, and we're gonna go about our business. Now, the 1 hour tells us something, the same thing, not too much, but here's what we want. If we look at the 1 hour, here's what we understand. Now, the 1 hour tells us something a little bit different because it gives us a little bit more data. Gives us a little bit more data. Well, what does the 1 hour tell us, Trap? Now, the 1 hour actually shows us how we are in a micro downtrend to neutral position. How does this say that, Trap? Well, we have a high and then we have a lower high. Now, we don't have one more, but it also shows us clearly that 203 is protection. It clearly shows us that 203 is the line in the sand. Now, I'm gonna show you something that I really like doing. So let's go from this bottom here. We're gonna throw this fib up here. And I'm gonna show you something that I like. I'm gonna give you another line. 196. 196 is your equilibrium, right? 196 is your equilibrium, which means from the low to the top of that move, 50% of that is 196. Now, I know in your mind, you thinking, ain't no way in the world you're gonna go back to 196, Trap. I'm gonna tell you that it is the market, and after a stock runs up that far, you have a thing called buyer exhaustion. Now, let me tell you the dope part about 196. 196 allows the big market to go back in that box, get some more orders, and then go back up. So if you go back to 196, what you want to say to yourself is, if it goes back to 196, right? If it goes back to 196, watch this, be careful. If it goes back to 196 and you don't get a confirmation candle to the upside, don't you do nothing, because then it's telling you it may go down to 187. You watch it until you get a confirmation above 196. You need to go from 196 to 203 to 218. That's what you're looking for. Anything under that, you let it be. You let it be. And that's all we got to say about AMD like that. I hope y'all like what we brought to the market. This version of Charting with Trap was brought to you by none other than Trapper Apparel Inc. You heard me? Trapper Apparel Inc. There you go, Dancing with Diamonds. Say that's a high probability right there, Trap. I like that, brother. I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. I hope y'all like what we brought to the table right there, just to help y'all understand and figure out what's going on in this market. George, can I get some ice, dog? Give me some ice right quick. Appreciate you, cuz. Yep. I hope y'all enjoyed that. I hope you see that. And I think for me, man, it's just, Shazam say, boy, that's a huge gap. Sure is. And they dangerous. They dangerous. They dangerous, thank you, cuz. They dangerous. So that's the goal for me, man. The goal for me is to just, instead of me trying to break down the SPY, I'm just gonna get on one chart, one company, we just go crazy. We get on one chart, one company, we just go crazy. Right? I think that's the easier way for us to just get money. Now you can't say, man, Trap, Hey, go back. If you don't do nothing else, go back to that part. I'm gonna start telling Jose, take that one charting thing and make that a what you call it, buy itself on the page, on network page. Just take that one charting section, moving on, since we're gonna just do one company every week. We'll just do one company. As a matter of fact, I got something even better. When you're doing a 1-800-TRAPPER hotline, in the 1-800-TRAPPER hotline, ask the Patreon what chart they want to break down. That way we get a Patreon. Huh? Yeah. Yeah, so we'll do that moving forward. Like we'll say, hey, give your question, and then what chart do you want Trap to break down? And that way we can just look at a chart one time, boom, go with our move. You know what I'm saying? I think that's another way to add the Patreon into what we got going on, you hear me? So that's what I like, man. So Don't be late, because you're going to get ate. Come on. I like that, Jose. Come on, bro. You don't like that?
Nah, that's all. It's cool. You gotta, when you say it with enough bass in there, it's cool. You know
I said it before.
Nah, it's cool.
All right.
You had better. You've had better.
I've had better for sure.
Yeah.
I've had better for sure. All right, let's get into it, man. All right, recession portfolio. I know we got to show the people the money. Everybody was going crazy about AMD, and we was like, yep, we like y'all getting that AMD money. But guess what we doing, y'all? We like gold, right? We like gold. All right, let's get into it. So first on the list, we got AppLovin. Had a major rally today. We like AppLovin for the rally today that's going on. We like that. ASML. So I'm going to tell my Patreon people this right quick. We're going to watch ASML. We might take some profits off it tomorrow. We're going to see what it do, right? Because it gave up a lot today, right? We was up like 30, right? We ain't turning greens red no more. We ain't doing that. We'll get out and come back in. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to watch it in the morning. Hopefully it don't give up everything we read in the morning. Yo, that'd be the worst, you hear me? Like, you be like, bruh. So we like ASML for sure. I'm cool with AVGO. I like how that's been moving. We probably going to average down at Costco. I know a lot of people pissed off at Costco, right? I feel y'all. Right? We probably average down a little bit. GEV, I'm cool with it. Gold just been averaging everything out. Like gold we've been rocking out with. Goldman Sachs down, Meta down. We all right with that. We got time on them. Those are January, February plays. We definitely cool with that. Let's go a little further. I think something good today too. What am I trying to say? I got stuck just now. I hate when I have a brain freeze, man. All right, so why we got Tesla up there 2 times? What the hell, Steve? We got MU. So MU been going crazy for us. I don't know what kind of glitch that is. What kind of glitch is that?
I'm about to say, did he do that or did it come through in the screenshot?
The glitch up there. I don't know what the hell happened.
Sheesh.
The NVIDIA. See, I don't know what happened with NVIDIA today. It was up today. We was up, and then it just like turned at the last minute today. I saw the people in the Patreon complaining about that. I was like, man, don't trip, we good. Palo Alto been serving us good. Palantir, yep. Spotify pissed us off. Tesla pissed us off. I don't know why this Tesla plays up there 2 times. What kind of glitch we got going on? United Healthcare turned around for us. We like it. All right, so I should have marked this play off, but I didn't. Huh? I put that in today. You didn't see that play, cuz? I put that play in today. So I put the play in USAR today.
Wait, George said, nope.
Nope. No one.
You want some too, old man?
You want some too, old man? Nope.
Nope.
So I put that play in today. USAR, we put that play in today. Where Uncle T at? Because we been clocked in on that goal, yo. I told him about it. I feel like Scrooge McDuck. DuckTales, woo! I feel like Scrooge McDuck, bro. So we put the play in today, USAR. I dropped the YouTube on that play. It dropped at 2:30. It dropped at 2:30. Go check that out. Go check that out. It's on my Wall Street Trappin page. And I'm going to just say this. Donald Trump and his team is doing something. And here's what they're doing. They are making strategic investments on any type of materials. Look at what they invested in. Materials, weapons, and AI infrastructure. And they also making investments on anything that is critical to AI. So what I want us to start doing is, yep, we all like the AI companies, but let's look at what are the things that's necessary for AI to run. So I dropped something about copper the other day. And people are like, why did you drop that copper video? Because that is an essential component to make every data center and every chip. And every chip that's out, they gotta have copper in it. Copper is the thread that makes it go. Also, this company, USAR, is a rare earth component. It's a rare earth component. If you notice, Trump took, and I told this to my Patreon, I'm putting this up here because I didn't block it out, and because I didn't block it out for whatever reason, I was moving too fast, I'm going to just give y'all the game on why I invested in it. So what happens is, it's a small company. And China has 80% monopoly on the processing of rare earth materials. Shazam say, Trap, that was a great video. What happened is, what's happening is, remember when we made the deal with Ukraine? We was trying to help them out or whatever? Remember Trump said, we need the rare earth minerals deal. That's the thing that we want. Right? Because what happens is, if you notice, America and China has trying their best to do what? Not be dependent on each other no more. They understanding the huge hindrance that's making between both of them. And I think when the tariffs came out, I think everybody knew what was happening, but then it made everybody step back and be like, wait, we do need them. Damn, we do need them, bruh. Like, we got to find a way. Watch this. We got to find a way in the next phase of the world to not be dependent on them. All right, so you see NVIDIA, you see China say, hey, don't buy no more NVIDIA chips. Nobody over here. And then you see Trump starting to position America to be like, hey, whatever we, outside of manufacturing, hey, don't depend on them for this. Hey, don't depend on them for that. We doing this, make it in America, do it in America, go to India. They trying to not be dependent on nobody, each other no more. Okay, we'll go to India, we'll go to Vietnam, we'll go to, Pakistan, we'll go to UAE, but they realizing, and I'm not saying they haven't already realized it, but the tariff war made everybody face the thing that they've been disregarding, right? So it's kind of like two people don't like each other, but they're like, yo, we got to do business with each other, so we're going to be cordial, but we're going to throw shots at each other, right? But then in the thick, when this would bring it to a head, 100% tariff. Okay, you want to go 100, 200% tariff. You want to go 200, 1,000% tariff. 10,000% tariffs. Well, you just start throwing astronomical numbers at each other, you realize that, yeah, we really don't like each other, so whatever business we got already, we're going to try to figure that out, but hey, we not dependent on them no more for nothing. And I think that's where we at right now. So they can't get out of bed with each other what they've already been in bed with each other with, so they're going to come up with something there, but moving forward in this next iteration of the world, this AI revolution, they're like, hey, we not depending on them for nothing, because if we depend on them for this in this next phase of the world, we killing ourselves. We did it already. We not doing it no more. So they making sure they not going to depend on each other for nothing in this next phase of the world. So in my mind, you see what America doing. NVIDIA, AMD, guess what? I'm going to cut some deals. I'm going to do something. Y'all need to give me 15% of that revenue. Guess what they did? Say less. Intel, you want to do this? We need 10% stake in your company. Right? MP, that's another company. Hey, we need a stake in this company. You saw the Trump administration did what they did. The company Trilogy. It's a precious metal company that's going to be essential for AI. Hey, we need a 10% stake in this company. But what happens when America get a stake in these companies? The companies do what? They shoot up. So what that's telling us is I'm the person that, I need that Wall Street Trappin cap. Hey.
Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah. Get your one, partner. Get your one. Get your one. So here's what we see, y'all. So what I've been doing is like, okay, y'all know I like the research. So I'm looking like, all right, like, where this coming from next? So I dropped the video and I broke down the company USAR and everything that they do. It dropped at 2:30. I woke up this morning and told the trappers, I said, hey, y'all, here's what I told them. The stock is up 100 and something percent on the year. It was at $26, $27. The all-time high was like $30, right? I said, listen, I'm going to get in this but it's a 2026 play. It went out to like, what it is? March. And I said, if this stocks, and they already had talks with Trump, this company is an American company. If the government gets them, this stock can easily go to $40, maybe even $50. All we want is that first initial pop. That's all we want. So I'm not telling nobody to buy it, but it was a cheap enough stock. It's $30. The premium wasn't high on it. And I ain't go crazy. I just did like 15. I did like 15 contracts on it, y'all. So just something for me to tell y'all, put y'all eyes on, give y'all something to watch. You know what I'm saying? And for me, if it doesn't do it, it's still a solid company anyway. So, I think today it hit all-time high and came back down a little bit. But I'm telling y'all, watch this stock. That's all I want. That's all I want to say, y'all. We just want, now I'm not gonna lie. I had been watching it for like a month. When it broke past when it went from 14 to 20, I said, ooh, okay, I see what's going on here. You know what I'm saying? I see what's going on here. So that's my I didn't see the video, but I did catch the US. I got a video on, it's on the Wall Street Trappin page. All right, let's go a little further. We got Visa, let's go. So come join the Patreon, man, let's go. All right, let's go a little further. All right, let me highlight a couple of people on my Patreon right quick. I just gotta highlight my people, man. So one of the family put this in. I like to cover people's names up. Say, good morning, family, man. I'm putting this picture in a group just to encourage everyone here to stay trapping, stay locked in. I pray to do 100K in a day and 100K in a play. I stood on the altar of my church and asked God to bless me so I could bless others. And what'd he do right after that? That go to play. 169,000 in a day. 169,000 in a day. Shout out to the family, man. Let's go a little further. Got another one. Say, Trap, bro, the Leap account's up 60K before lunch. I ain't even checked my buy and hold yet. I trust the process more than importantly, I trust God. Road to 2 million. Thanks, Trapper. I appreciate you, my guy. And you know why I love this? Because I always tell my people, bro, like, bro, thank God. Don't thank me. Thank God that whatever led you to me and you was able to take the information, lock in, because most people be like, man, I don't put God in that. And I always say, I put God in everything, bro. I put God in my business. I ask God before I trade. I ask God, let me see the chart the way I'm supposed to see the chart. And most people are like, well, you don't supposed to ask, man. I ask him for, why would I leave him out of anything? And that's just the way I believe. So I love when my people be like, hey, bro, I trust God. That let me know, even if you had that belief before me, you damn sure got it with me. God and money. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, I cooked on that one. I did my thing with that one, Jose. That was right on time. All right, let's go a little further. One more. Just one more for the road. One more for the road. Yes, sir. The patient man wins, man. Look at this. Palantir, man. I love it. One contract of Palantir. Then he had 2 contracts of Palantir. Up $446 on one. Up a $1,300 on another one, man. So I just want to shout my people out, man. You know what I'm saying? I want to start highlighting my people in the Patreon that's getting in the game, and that's really like, bro, like, I see it. And I just want to encourage everybody. I'm going to say something right here that's going to be powerful, and we're going to get to the show. I'm going to say something here that's powerful, y'all. Like, if you look at the jobs in the S&P right now, if you look at the jobs, we see that jobs are trending down consistently. We heard Jerome Powell 2 weeks ago say the job market and the price instability is on the lower tiers of the economy. The labor market is sliding, increased. Let's even throw the slide up. We'll get back to it, right? Let's throw the slide up. So watch this. Increased worry about labor market outlook. Watch this. We have, for this quarter coming up, they're expecting 25% less jobs than anticipated. 25% less. I need you, like, say, bro, like, I need you to, I want us to understand something, y'all. This real talk, bro. Like, this real talk. They can talk all that crap they want about AI is not going to take jobs. I'm going to tell you right now, do not be fooled. It's like the weatherman telling you, brace yourself, the storm won't go the other way when you looking at the storm coming right at you. Their job is to keep you from panicking. That's their job. Their job is to keep you from panicking. I'm going to say this, and I hope sometimes we got to give each other tough love. You a damn fool if you won't see this shit coming straight for you. We listen to the Federal Reserve Chairman. We listen to him say, verbatim, out his mouth. We heard him say this. We think we have a strong economy. The economy is pretty strong, but we are seeing pressure on the lower income tier, which is the black and brown tier, and the college student tier when it comes to job. Well, fam, they got more poor people than rich people in the world. So how the hell is the economy strong if the lower portion of the economy is feeling the pressure? You heard him say this verbatim. This not me making this up. We heard him say, we put the video up a couple weeks ago. We heard him say this, and now this just came out. The labor market is sliding. Increased consumer worry, meaning people are worried about a job. And guess what, y'all? We seeing big companies do what? Lay people off by the thousands. Okay, watch this. We are seeing the market do what? Run up because of what? The anticipation of what AI is going to do. They ain't even made money off it yet. This is the crazy part. If we go look at the earnings calls from last quarter, ain't nobody said how much money the AI that they buying is bringing in. If we go look at it, we can go look at the last quarter of earnings. Matter of fact, AI came in the game when they start really rewarding companies for AI, 2023. Late 2023, early 2024 was smoking. They went to counting. AI got mentioned 40 times on a call, 30 times on a call, 20 times on a call. And the Patreon 2023, we went to having explosions. Why? And now we see it speeding up. So watch this, family. Jose sent me something today. Netflix is paying, how much, Jose? 7,000 or 700? 700,000 for anybody who can come in and implement AI to be more productive. This is a streaming company. Guess what they gonna do when they do that? You can go. You know why? Because AI gonna replace you. Efficiency means I'm gonna pay the bulk of the money up front, and over the next 5 years, when I lay off these 10,000 people, I'm gonna be profitable because I don't got to pay them no more. That's what efficiency is. You gotta understand the words. Efficiency means, how can I grow my business efficiently, increase the bottom line, increase the top line, while taking off some of that payroll? Mark Zuckerberg ain't paying. That man say, listen, I will spend listen to the exact words right here. I will spend hundreds of billions of dollars so that my company is not late to the AI race. I need you to understand something. A man says, I'm willing to spend. Now listen to me. Meta is a company that has zero debt, which means he not at risk of going bankrupt. He also has a recurring revenue model that pushes millions of dollars an hour. Let me rephrase that. Hundreds of millions of dollars an hour. So guess what, y'all? That recurring revenue model is for show money. That's why he's building that big old AI facility that in what? Louisiana. Guess what? People gonna have to go. Efficiency. What do you see Amazon doing? Right now, Amazon has more robots than human beings. We posted it on the show. We showed you the video. He has 1 million robots working in warehouses. Guess what that's gonna do? That's gonna translate to more work. Right now, they just scanning and they packaging. Guess what happens when they start sorting everything out? That's what happens when they start delivering. That's what happens when Amazon partners with Tesla or some other robotic company. Don't forget, Jeff Bezos already partnered with an EV company to compete with who? Tesla, with the EV truck. We got to see what's happening. Well, Trap, why are you saying all that? You need to learn how to make some money for yourself right now, fam. You better learn it now. You keep saying, oh man, you speaking in a high language and I can't. You better get hooked on phonics for trading. You better learn how to produce some kind of income on your own. Because here's what COVID taught us. Job security ain't a thing. Here's what a government shutdown that's going on right now. We day 7. What it showed us, job security ain't a thing. And if they do 30 days, guess what? Them people lose all their benefits. 30 days of a government shutdown, you lose your benefits. So you lose your benefits on something that you don't have no control over. Because two parties can't understand that we spending too much money. 30 days of no governmental work means you lose all the stuff. Come on, bruh. Also, guess what that means? We don't get no financial data. So guess what the market keep doing? Running up because they don't got nothing to say, hey, the shit about to hit the fan. So all I'm saying to us is, bro, like, you gotta learn it. Like, at some point in time, it was optional. It's imperative now. Right? It's not optional no more. So I don't care if it's me. I don't care if it's me. I don't care if it's Chris Sane. I don't care if it's Aristotle. I don't care who it is, bro. I don't care if it's Black Robin Hood. I don't care if it's Tay Sweat. I don't care if it's Terry. I don't care who it is, bro. Go learn how to do something. I don't care if you go to real estate and learn from Terry. I don't care if you learn from my sister, Terica. I don't care who you learn from. I don't care if you learn how to do. You better learn how to do something. You better go learn business from somebody. You better go learn how to do something that you can go fish. Because if you don't learn how to fish, you gonna get ate. If you late, you ate.
No, that was better.
You feel me though? If you don't learn how to fish, fam, bro, it's over with for you. And I'm not even trying to push fear. I'm just telling you, like Destiny's Child's, fam, the writing's on the wall. The writing on the wall, bruh. This is not optional no more. It ain't, oh, I'm gonna do it when I feel like it. No, you need to feel like it now. Or they're gonna implement something like this universal basic income. This is what I've been telling Jose about. I said, Jose, I said, you ever heard that before, Jose? He said, nah, bro, I never heard of that. And I'm gonna say something. I actually feel like he is testing it out right now. Remember he came on TV the other day and said, yeah, man, you know, we're gonna give people we're gonna give them a stimulus check from terrorists. Man, let me ask y'all a question, man.
The writing is on the wall, Right.
I just want to ask you a question. When in the hell you seen rich people, wealthy people in America do some shit for poor people out the kindness of their heart? I just want to take a minute to answer that question. And what American phase did you see them say, you know what, we're just going to give everybody that's poor $2,000, fam, from tariff money? We know good and damn well. But you know what we saying? Oh, yeah, bro, I'm about to get that $2,000. Bro, they setting you up for the kill.
I've been seeing it all over social media. They like, yo.
They don't see it. So let's just explain to them what the UBI is right quick. Do we got a video on that?
When you hear me say, hey, everyone gets $1,000 a month, you're like, wow, that sounds too good to be true. It is not too good to be true. And this is a renaming of something called universal basic income, a policy that's been with the country since our founding. Thomas Paine was for it. He called it the citizen's dividend. Martin Luther King fought for it in 1967 in his book, Chaos or Community. And it is what he was fighting for every day up to the day he was assassinated in 1968. Milton Friedman and 1,000 economists signed a study saying this would be tremendous for America. And it even passed the U.S. House of Representatives twice in 1971. It came this close to being law. So this is not as radical as you might think. 44% of American jobs will be subject to automation in the next 20 to 30 years, 20 to 30% in the next 10 to 20 years. I mean, think about what that means. The most common jobs in the U.S. economy are administrative and clerical, which includes call center workers, retail and sales, food service and food prep, truck driving and transportation, and manufacturing. Those 5 sectors are all going to shrink, and that's half of American jobs. And then you're looking at other white-collar jobs like insurance agents and financial advisors and accountants and bookkeepers, radiologists, like a lot of professions are going to get affected by this. And so the way we fund the freedom dividend is we join every other advanced economy in the world and have a value-added tax that then gives the American public a tiny slice of every Amazon sale, every Google search, every Facebook ad, every robot truck mile, and returns it to your pockets. And there is one state that's had a dividend for almost 40 years where everyone in that state gets between $1,000 and $2,000 a year, no questions asked. Did you know what state that is? It's Alaska. And Alaska funds it with oil money. And what I'm saying to you is that technology is the oil of the 21st century. And what they're doing for Alaskans with oil money, we can do for all Americans with technology money.
Like we've seen this movie before.
Come on, bro. Now what I love about the way my guy broke it down was he made it seem like it was like, it ain't that bad. Right? Here's the thing about that. There will be a clear sign of the haves and the have-nots. Now, of course, Facebook don't mind giving you a piece of that, and they're giving it. But what happens when your total income now is $30,000 a year? And here's the thing, y'all. For COVID, they already tested it on us. And if you look at it now, bro, you got to think about it, bro. Everything that happened for COVID really could have been, and I said this when it happened, I said, nah, this is a shift right here. This the reset to push us forward where we going. Everybody understood. They was like, nah, this is a reset. Guess what, y'all? They already showed us what happens when your income is only the income that the government gives you. bruh, it's a clear divide between the haves and the have-nots once this happened. Because now, millions of jobs no longer exist. Now everybody trying to wash cars, everybody trying to cut grass.
Plumbing.
I
was like, that's the last job, really, you think about it.
Construction is it, bro.
Construction.
And it's going to be a point in time where everybody can't do construction. So all I'm saying, bro, I know I got a little heated just now. The writing's on the wall for us, fam. Because if them jobs, watch this, and here's what happens next. Watch this, Jose. When all those other jobs become null and void, and there's only certain type of jobs left, then the job scale changes, the pay changes. They can actually now pay you way less. They can actually pay you way less. You know why? Because now there's a ton of people to do this. I don't gotta pay you that. I could go get this person to do it for less.
I saw it in my own business. I was like, hold up. I started using AI. I was like, oh, I don't need this, that. I cut out 5 people.
Efficiency. It's the name of the game, bro. And, bro, this thing's speeding up faster and faster and faster. It ain't slow. We not going back. They not going to slow it down.
It definitely ain't. And the ones who saying, oh, it ain't going to take my job, you're the first one they're going to take. Bro, you got to innovate.
Watch this. At one time, it was like go to school to be a computer engineer or something. Now they telling them, yo, we don't even need y'all no more.
Bro, the joint is coding, making sites, and everything.
Bro, it's saying we don't even, a computer engineer. It's saying, yo, we don't need you no more. So you might well just take that out the, imagine you being 2 years into your computer engineering degree and they're like, oh, ChatGPT is here. AI is here. Imagine having to switch the degree mid-degree. Like you 2 years in, like, damn, I gotta go to school for brain surgery or something now. Damn. I gotta switch my major. Anyway, I just wanted to put that out there. Let's go there
even before that, though, that's almost like a rock and a hard place because we have to innovate with it. And then it's taking the job. So the biggest thing really is your solution. Like, yo, getting this daggone market.
Not even just the market. So here's the thing, like, it's the market, it's real estate, it's crypto, it's you gotta find, you know, and I told a story about David a good lot. You gotta really look at where the pain point's at now, because now you gotta go solve some problems. You gotta go solve some problems. You gotta go get in the people business, bro. That's why entrepreneurship is a thing, bro. Because here's what the pandemic told us. Because people don't, oh my God, here we go. Watch this. Because people don't have financial literacy and money management, watch this. You become like the frog in the pot. You don't even realize that your life is on the line and you still spending money like everything is all good. So the frog in the pot, the analogy is you put a frog, you don't put the frog in the boiling hot water, you put him in cold water or warm water and you turn it up little by little. Before you know it, he get comfortable in the warm water and just stay there. And by the time he realizes it's too late, he cooked himself, right? Same thing is, the pandemic, people knew we ain't had no money. But guess what they were doing? Buying all the fancy clothes. Acting like the people, bro, and I kept telling people that, look, when have you ever seen wealthy people just give to you like that? That ain't what they do. So now, the same thing gonna happen. they gon', man, let her cough, man. You gotta cover her mouth, man. Let her cough, man. She let her cough, man. All right, so what happens is, bro, like, people don't realize that they in that type of predicament. Oh, the money gonna come. Oh, it's good. And you spending.
Thinking it's free money.
Ain't, bro, when America ain't never gave us nothing for free. That ain't what they do, bro. All right, let's go a little further, man. I don't want to stay there too much long. All right, that go to Freedom Fund, man. AJG still on the list, man. Sprouts Farmers Market still on the list, man. Had a little comeback today. All right. Palantir, NVIDIA, Netflix, Meta, Goldman Sachs, CVLT, CrowdStrike, and Costco. They on the list. I might sell Costco. Up 21%, was up 25% last week, down 4%. That's where we at. Come join the Patreon, man. You know what I'm saying? Come join the Patreon. The link is in the chat, man. If you in Trappers Anonymous or you in that Patreon, I got a big announcement coming this week. You know what I'm saying? I got a big announcement coming this week, man. Lock in. You know, something for us, something for the community. So let's go with that. Let's go, Jose. All right, man. So the bull market is running, man. The last time the NASDAQ was up for 7 months in a row was in 2017. Watch this. This could be the 7th month in a row that it can be straight up. Right now, check this out. Here's the thing about that. The last time it did that, it actually kept running. It actually kept running. It actually kept running, y'all. It ran from 17 to 22 before it fell. So that tells us that's 190% gain. Now, I'm not saying that this is but history often may not repeat itself, but it does what? It rhymes. And so it's my thing when I be telling people, people like, oh, the market gonna crash. I'm like, bro, you just had a 9-week slump. The market retraced 50%, bro. It's go time. And bro, like all you in my mind, and I just be telling my people this in the Patreon too, like, all you gotta do is follow the theme. You don't got, let me just make it real easy for y'all right quick. I'm not even about to make let me tell y'all something. A lot of people wanna look like they geniuses. And I get it. But I don't gotta look like a genius. Cause it is what it is. In order to make money in the market, the best way to make money in the market, when you in this kind of market, right? When you in this kind of market, the best way to make money, all right, let me stand up. Like when I stand up, I be wanting y'all to know like the seriousness behind this. You know why I've made money in the market, y'all? Because I've made the game as simple as possible. I've made this game as simple as possible. If you allow them to make this game complicated, this game, I'm gonna tell you something. This game can be super complicated if you let it. The one thing I love about being from the street and coming from the street is because the streets is not complicated. The streets are so simple. You know why the streets are simple? Because it's all on two things: supply and demand. That is the corner, that is the reason why hustlers hustle. That's the rules of engagement. Where if you can meet a supply, if you can meet a demand with a supply, you can make money. That's it. Inside of that, you got to learn how to protect yourself. 4,000 people in the chat? 4,000 people in the chat. Let's get it up to 5. I'm about to give y'all some game right quick. I'm going to give y'all some game right quick. In this game, I want you to take this game with you to the house. Watch this. Watch this. This game about to be so easy. Hear me well. I'm looking at you dead in the cam when I tell y'all this. If you trade the market with orthodox information, then the game is designed to be complicated. They designed the game to be complicated. If you go back to the earlier days of the market, bro, that's how they was getting information off like little tabs. Like you would have to come to them, they would have to read it and try to make a trade in real time. Right? News, paper articles, you would have to get stuff mailed into you. That's how you was getting it. Now we live in a time where you get on the computer screens. And at one time, only they had access to the computer screens. Now we have access to it. So now we start learning about secondary markets and all this old great information, right? Let me tell y'all something, fam. When you get a situation like what Donald Trump put the world in earlier, those become the ones that's a little bit more difficult to navigate because you one tweet away, you one this away, he real active, the market is real tense, a lot going on, you get caught slipping in certain ways, you like, damn, that's cold. But once the market regulates itself and it adapts to what's going on, I'm about to tell you something and I'm gonna make it real easy for y'all, bro. First thing you is follow the theme. What is the theme that the market is rewarding? That's first. If you look right now, what is the market reward? Technology. What type of technology? Chips, semis, quantum, data centers, anything surrounding that area, right? Streaming is kind of like, what is really rewarding? Then we see industrials really getting rewarded. What do we see? What else getting rewarded? Financials really getting rewarded. What else is getting rewarded? Precious metals, gold and silver, really getting rewarded. All right, so if that's really getting rewarded, energy is getting rewarded. Why would I be trying to trade healthcare? All right, somebody said my saying, orthodox information give you ordinary results. Y'all know that's my saying, right? Why would I be trying to trade healthcare? Healthcare not getting rewarded. Why would I be trying to trade consumer, defenses? It's not getting rewarded. Why would I be trying to trade anything other than what's getting rewarded? Watch this. Over the long term. So the way to win the game is every year there's a theme. If you understand what the theme is, that's where your plays need to be at. Now, let me tell you something. Inside of every theme, there's going to be some things that happen. The market is going to run up, and then it's going to do what? Pull back a little bit. Why? Because buyer exhaustion has a place. Meaning, I'm going to buy, and then you know what, man? Let me chill out right quick, man. And then the market pulls back a little bit. And then when the market pulled back a little bit, guess what happened? Dip buyers, the sellers push it down, they get their little money, and then the market says, you know what? Let's take back off again. So the key to really winning in this game, listen, and I know people gonna attack me. No, it's a little more harder. No, it ain't. It really ain't. I'm just keeping it real with you. Now, you can get into the nuances of it so you can get really, really like surgical. But if you're really on something, bro, I don't got time to do all that, bro. I really just want to make some money, bro. Go look at the theme. What is the market rewarding? And buy some time. Bro, What is the market rewarding? Buy some time. Then the only thing that you got to say is, let me just check my feelings at the door. All right? When the market draws back, can I deal with the pressure? Because that's the pressure. The pressure is, I see it in the Patreon all the time. The market running up, everybody happy. Soon the market pull back, man, what the hell just happened? Man, what's going on? Oh, man, I should have took profit. That was all the time, right? So the one thing that you have to learn is how to control your emotions on red days. If you can learn that, I promise you, this market is free money. As a matter of fact, it don't get no freer than this. The problem is, watch this, when you go from being, and I'm not hating on nobody, when you try to make $1 million in like a small window, when you try to use them OTDs and them 1 weeks, then you've added more risk. Not saying you can't make no money, now you've added more risk on it. So that's when the market becomes a little bit more complicated. That's when you got to be a little bit more precise. You got to live. But when you say, hey, you know what? I'm going to give this thing 6 weeks. Guess what? You're giving yourself some time. I'm going to give this thing 8 weeks. I'm going to give this thing 6 months. I'm going to give this thing a year. And if you're bold enough to do that, you can't lose. Let me tell you why you can't lose. Because let's say you buy an option out for 8 months. I'm just going to give you some real game right here. Yo, and because we won't get surgical with it, that's when we got to sharpen our skills up. We I want to be surgical with this thing. Like, I want this thing to produce income for me on a daily basis. Yep, we got to sharpen our skill up. We got to get real surgical with it. Watch this, bro. Bro, if you put that thing out for like 6, 7 months, 8 months, or a year, and that thing fall down, watch this, but you got to be in quality companies that the market is rewarding. Trap, what you trade? Tech. Trap, what you trade? Financials. What you trade? Tech. What you trade? Financials. Man, you don't be looking at Coca-Cola. Why? Why? Industrials. Why? That's what the market been rewarding for 7 years. We get too smart for our own damn good, and we make the game harder than what it gotta be. Because it's in our brain to think it's harder than what it really is. Man, it can't be that easy. I gotta learn how to do this and that. Man, I don't care about none of that. Now, again, it gets a little more different when we get in a situation like Trump. Okay, the market going down. Okay, boom. Let me learn how to play some puts right here. But here's the thing. I tell people all the time, bro, I might do puts a couple times a year, bro, but I'm 92% bullish. I'm forever bullish on the market, man. I'm forever bullish on the market, bro. And here's why I'm forever bullish on the market. Them white folks got generational money in there, man. And it ain't about a color thing, though. They just been on it way before us. They got generational money in there. And I ain't just talking about the white folks that we see every day. I'm talking about the ones that we don't see. I'm talking about the ones that really be moving the world, the ones who really be pulling the levers, the ones who really be making the laws. I'm talking about the ones that make Nancy Pelosi portfolio look like one of ours. I'm talking about the ones that make Nancy Pelosi returns look like she paper trading. I'm talking about them, man. People got generational money in this game, man. You think they're gonna let this thing collapse? So can you handle the drawdown? Watch this, yo. The wealth of America's top 1% hit a record, yo. $52 trillion. $52 trillion, fam. That's the top 1%. They ain't even talking about us at the bottom, because guess what? We keep saying, oh man, that's for them white folks. As long as you keep, watch this, we talked about this in the beginning, your fear of freedom. We talked about you being comfortable and the comfortability being your cage. You being anchored to comfort so you can't go to freedom. Because every time somebody introduces you to freedom, you keep saying, what ain't for you? Got people over here increasing their wealth by $52 trillion. The 1%, the 99 other percent of us poor as shit. That's why I be looking at people with all, I be like, bro, you ain't even much part of, why would I try to shine on my people because I done made a couple dollars? That's why you don't never see Trap talking about, only time I talk about money is in the market. You know why? Bro, I'm a peon in this game. Oh man, I made a 6-figure business. Man, shut up. Oh, I got a 7-figure business. Man, shut up. You a peon in the game, bro. You only doing that to show off for your own people. I don't got to show off to my people. I want to see my people make money, man. Oh, I'm a 45-year-old millionaire. Man, shut up. I don't care about that. I don't care about that. To care less about, yeah, I got a $10 million house and a Ferrari and a Lamborghini. Man, I don't care about it. I drive the Escalade. You know why, bruh? That shit is small. $52 trillion in a 1%. Talk to me when you get part of that club. When you get part of that club, hey, okay, partner. Then now you done, watch this, now you done broke structure. Now you done broke structure. I made more money than, man, shut up, man. You here with me. You ain't in them meetings. Yeah, but I'm good because I'm the first black man. Nobody cares, bro. Nobody cares. It's the harsh truth. Nobody cares if you made 6 or 7 figures in your business, bro. You not in that 1% right there, bro. Keep working. Now, the thing I love about it is the market gives us the opportunity to be in that 1%. That's what I love about it. It gives us the opportunity to be in that 1%. Here's why. The same thing it take you to make 10,000 in a trade is the same thing it take you to make 10 million in a trade is the same thing that make it take the 100 million in a trade. Ain't nothing different than what Bill Ackman did than what I did in $1 million in a play. Ain't no different than what the family did with 100,000 in a play. Ain't no different than what family did to get 1,000 in a play. The only thing different is the capital and the emotion that it's gonna take to do it. It's the only thing that changed. If you learn how to trade, you know how to trade. I don't care how many indicators you add. If you understand you supply zone, liquidity, if you understand the simple things of the market, bro, market structure, it is what it is. I'm gonna go back to the beginning. If the market is treating these companies, what's the theme that the market is rewarding? If the market is rewarding this theme and you got enough time, go with the theme. We in a bull market since 2022. Imagine if you would have just had some type of 1 year or 2 year option play on Palantir. You up 10,000%. 2,000%, whatever it was. I don't know. The market gonna reward it's gonna show you what is rewarding. We just get fancy. Yeah, let me do this 1 week call. Yeah, let me do this 1 day OTE call. Yo, the market is rewarding. It's showing you, go there. Stop going against, they keep telling you the trend is your friend for a reason. Go whatever is trending. Go that way. That's the game simplified, y'all. Again, we be wanting to get more surgical. I'm not mad at that. I ain't mad at that. But if you want to simplify the game, That's it. That's it. That's it. Stack your bread up. Don't put your bread in the bank. Stack your bread up. Put your bread on the side. Put your bread on the side. Do some 8 month, 1 year. If you just seriously like, yo, bro, I don't want to do all that, bro. Like, I just want to build. I want to retire when I'm, you know, I want to take my retirement from 65 to 45. Guess what? You'll just stack your bread up, bro. Put it in the market. Do 8 month plays every time. The play you win, go down 50%. Guess what you do? Average down. Bring your premium down. Go from 40 to 20. Keep it out. What's your long-term plays? You want to get a little fancy? Then you do your, your 3 month, your 1 month, your 4 month, your 5 month. You create some cash, your day trade. You take that cash, put it in another long play. Create some more cash from your swing trades, put that in another long play. Take some more cash from this swing trade, put it in another long play. That's the game. That's the game. It ain't even complicated, fam. We complicated. We complicated. It's the reason why they say the longer you can hold a stock, the more chances you got of that stock making money. Well, just do the same thing with options. We complicate the game. We complicate it. So I just want y'all to understand something, man. Like, bro, we can be realistically. Now, here's the dope part about it. Here's the dope part about it. We are in such the beginning of where we going. There's so many millionaires. Bro, listen to me. Just in a Patreon alone, this year, 3 people showed me they made millions. Last year, we had 6 people that made millions. Bro, guess what, y'all? There's everyday people really turning their life around. And we still in the beginning. King K said it, bro. That's the bread and butter for me. Leaps, deep swings. I don't got a day trade, bro. I'm a swing trade. I'm a leap trade. I don't got to make it fancy. I'm not mad at nobody. I remember I told Sean this one day. I said, bro, do you want to be a good day trader or do you just want to make some money out the market? It's 2 different things. Whatever you choose is on you. Some of y'all won't be day traders just because the world done made that shit fancy to y'all. And I ain't mad at it. But guess what, bro? There's an easier way. But I promise you this, no matter what way you choose, there's a whole bunch of money in that market that's free. All right, let's go a little further, man. That was my rant. That's all I got, Jose.
I ain't mad at it. Shout out to almost 4,200 in here.
4,200 in the chat.
Share this out as far as with your family and friends.
4,200 in the chat.
Let's keep rocking.
All right, what we going with, man?
What's up, Trap? This is Billy. Thanks for taking my question. Really appreciate what you're doing for the community and the culture as a whole. My question is, with the current lack of data coming out from the federal government and knowing how sensitive the market can be to that data at certain times, I was just wondering if this might be setting up for a potential catalyst to the downside or for even a correction when the federal government opens back up and this data starts to flow again. All of this is with the backdrop of discussions of AI bubbles and also with certain discussions of certain sectors of the market being overbought. Thanks again for taking my question. I want to give a big shout out to the Patreon community and to Jose for the connect. Thanks again. Peace.
Am I good? What's up, Billy, man? My guy, man. Where you at, bro? Like in the field with a... I don't know where you at. That looked like an interesting space, man.
It definitely was interesting.
But that was an interesting backdrop there, Billy. I ain't gonna lie. That's an interesting backdrop right there. You heard me? I think so. I think that, I think that nothing, I just a firm believer that nothing happens without a reason. You know what I'm saying? We need that we need that information, man. So here's the thing too. The market gonna always, by this time of the year, if we not just in some type of economic downturn, the market gonna always be overbought around this time of the year. We in October. There's gonna be sectors that's overbought because the market done had 9 months to just run it up or do whatever they're gonna do or shake back. There's always gonna be parts of the market overbought, and typically it's gonna most of the time be technology, right? But guess what? That ain't gonna stop. Even with the data, all it's gonna do is set us up for a pullback that the market uses as fuel to push back forward. And I'm gonna say something too that y'all ain't gonna give me credit for, but I told y'all we was gonna touch 6,800. Boy, we close. Boy, we close. I'm talking close. Don't act like y'all don't see it. Y'all act, yeah, Trap, you said 68, yeah, we right there.
Back in January.
We right, and we called it when, Jose?
January 14th.
January 14th. Come on now. 67.14. We was at 67.50 to start the day. 67.14. Shazam said, remember I said 675. That's a fact. I said 6,800. We right there. And I called this in January. Man. Nettie said, that's my girl, Nettie. She be having the screenshots, too. So, Billy, that's what I think, man. I think that, I think that even if the data comes out, the market, here's what we've been showing. I think we said it in the Patreon, we've said it before, like, even with government shutdowns, the market still, on average, still went up during the shutdown. And then after the shutdown, the market pulls back a little bit but let's go back a little bit further. We said something in July that if the market was positive going into July, something like that, after the rate cut. After a rate cut, we had another one. After a rate cut, the market probably goes down that a month or something, and then it still ends the year positive, double digits. So I just think we still there. I think year to date, we up, 13%? After 2 back-to-back 20+%? I think we on pace, Mr. Bill. So, I think so. The lack of data may give us a pullback for sure. Maybe when the data comes out, we get something out to get, but I still think we're gonna still push forward. And that's just where we at. You know what I'm saying? Let's go a little further. A.G. Gadsden, man, was a pioneer African-American entrepreneur who built a business empire during the Jim Crow era, becoming one of the wealthiest black men in America, born in Alabama to formerly enslaved parents. He started the humble beginnings and went on to establish ventures in insurance, banking, real estate, and mineral services. His Booker T. Washington Insurance Company and Citizens Federal Savings Bank provided essential financial services to black communities who were often denied access elsewhere. Gaston's legacy lives on through his commitment to economic empowerment and self-sufficiency. He funded civil rights efforts, including bailing out protesters and supporting leaderships like Martin Luther King Jr. His business created jobs, wealth, and modeled excellence in finance. Shout out to the king. Let's get to it.
Born on January 4th, 1900, in a small town brimming with potential, A.G. Gaston's life story is one of unwavering determination and remarkable achievement. As an extraordinary entrepreneur and a trailblazer in black business ownership, Gaston became an inspiration to countless individuals, proving that with hard work and perseverance, anything is possible. Throughout his life, A.G. Gaston built an astounding business empire that, at its peak, boasted a net worth of over $130 million. His ventures spanned numerous industries from banking and insurance to construction and real estate. Gaston's most notable businesses included the prestigious Gaston Financial Group, the innovative Royal Oaks Insurance Company, and the luxurious Booker T. Washington Hotel, all of which were groundbreaking achievements in black business ownership. The impact of A.G. Gaston's businesses was far-reaching, employing thousands of people and creating countless opportunities for the black community. By investing in the growth and development of black-owned businesses, Gaston played a pivotal role in breaking down racial barriers and promoting economic empowerment for African Americans. A.G. Gaston's legacy is a testament to the power of resilience, determination, and visionary leadership. His success in building a vast empire of thriving businesses served as a beacon of hope and catalyst for change, demonstrating that the limitations imposed by society can be overcome through courage and conviction.
Imagine coming from the Jim Crow era and making $100 and something million. 130. Imagine coming from the Jim Crow era, parents were formerly enslaved, making $130 million, and you complain about what you can't do. Just imagine that. I'm gonna just say it again. Imagine coming from the Jim Crow era. Parents were formerly enslaved. And you attaining a network of 139 million. And you saying to yourself, you got it harder than him. With all this technology. All this information at your hand. Nobody don't want to hire me. Imagine your parents were slaves and you saw them be slaves. Imagine you come up in the Jim Crow era, so you had everything against you. And you go on to start an insurance company, a bank, a holding company, you get into real estate. Imagine being a black man in America at that time being worth $139 million. And you saying to yourself, it's so hard to read them charts. Imagine you saying, you got to break it down to me like I'm a kid. Imagine that. Just imagine you keep saying, I need somebody who can explain it to me like I'm a 5-year-old. Imagine that. Imagine not having the blueprint to success and going out and creating a $139 million network while somebody's sitting here with a phone and access to a phone and laptop, free information every day, but you can't get off Netflix and you can't get off Prime and you can't stop scrolling. You can't stop scrolling. Your attention, you let the people tell you got ADD. Because you can't focus for more than 10 minutes without answering your phone or looking at your phone or putting your phone away. You got to answer every text, every email. Imagine that. Imagine that. Just think about that for a second. Imagine you keep coming up with a million excuses on why you can't do something. This man watched his family be slaves and not just come up in any part in America. We talking about Alabama, the South, Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana. We talking about deep South right here. We talking about where you can smell a racism in the air. Yeah. Imagine that. Imagine you telling that man how hard you had it. Imagine that. Moving on. What's next? All right, so watch this, man. The U.S. dollar has lost almost 10% of its value in this year alone. The U.S. dollar, minus 9.5%. The Indian rupee, minus 3.6%. Chinese yuan, plus 2.6%. I'm going to tell y'all how they be manipulating their currency, though. The Japanese yen, remember, we talked about that. Earlier when we talked about the carry trade, the British pound and the euro. So I need you to understand something. Somebody say, Trap, I'm ordering some apparel. I need that. Listen, apparel, 50% off. Get that pink, man. It feels good, too. It feels good. Yeah. It feels... Come on. I saw you. I saw you reach for the hip. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is another thing I'm talking about when it comes to why we need to get in the game of, trading, investing, just being self-sufficient. And here's the thing, yo. I'm not telling you quit your job. I'm saying you got to go learn how to make some more money. I'm just saying you gotta learn how to make some more money, because if you don't learn how to make some more money, if you allow them to feed you, you give them permission to starve you. And here's what I'm gonna tell you. Right now, they trying to starve you, fam. Right now, they trying to starve you. And here's what we see. I'm gonna go back to it. Cause I keep using this as an example, bro, because we looking at it happen right in our face, bro. Bro, we see Donald Trump setting himself and his family up, bro. The bruh just got in office and went kamikaze on, yo, I'm giving it my last shot on putting my family legacy in place. Bro, I ain't never heard Donald Trump's sons talking all that, bro. They on every podcast, they on every stage. They the ones telling their daddy about crypto, man. Dang, bruh 70 years old, bruh. Bruh 70 years old, bruh. He know traditional money. He know the traditional way to get money. You know what that is? Real estate, banking. That's how he know how to get money. His son's like, hey, Dad, crypto. This is it. And guess what he like? hey, I'm gonna get in this office, because I got power. I'm gonna get in his office, I'm gonna set y'all up. What's the wave? Crypto, Dad. You sure? 80, bro, 80. Crypto, Dad. You sure? Yeah, crypto. We all in on crypto. Man, you sure it's crypto? Crypto. All right. Let me go ask some of my people. Hey, what's up with this crypto stuff, y'all? Hey, go with it. It's the wave. All right, hey, crypto it is. Crypto, 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 crypto. He's setting his people up. You know how you know? I don't got nothing against Grant. But guess what? Bro, Grant used to talk shit about crypto. Go catch Grant old videos. And I ain't talking about too old. I'm talking about a year ago. 2 years ago. But I'm gonna tell you what money do. You stop fighting what you see was. Grant ain't never talked about. Grant used to have videos talking about options and stocks. Get out the stock market. Get into real estate. Guess what he did? John and Pete Nigerian, the ones you see on the doc, guess what he did? Hey, come in my holler at you. He had him on his platform. Guess what he did? Donald Trump. What your son talking about? Crypto. Hey, guess what you interview? Crypto. I ain't mad at Grant. I'm saying wealthy people understand there's a shift happening, and guess what they gonna start doing? They're gonna start pushing it to their audience, because you know why? They speak the language of money. And guess what we do? We get too busy. Watch this. Watch this. We get too busy being mad at the messenger and saying, hey, let me say, screw him. What is he talking about? Because he been rich as long as I've been poor. So watch this. U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance declares Bitcoin is now a strategic asset for America.
Won't they do?
I actually think that where Bitcoin is going is as a strategically important asset for the United States over the next decade. It's one of the reasons why President Trump, with the help of our great AI guy, David Sachs, it's one of the reasons why we started the Bitcoin Reserve, because we want to start to put in motion the strategic importance of Bitcoin for the United States government. We know that the PRC doesn't like Bitcoin. The People's Republic of China doesn't like Bitcoin. Well, we should be asking ourselves, why is that? Why is our biggest adversary such an opponent of Bitcoin? And if the Communist Republic of China is leaning away from Bitcoin, then maybe the United States ought to be leaning into Bitcoin, and that's one of the things that we're going to be doing.
You see where the money going, fam? Bro, Donald Trump, bro, that dude don't know nothing about none of that. But get what he did? He leaned into, and if you know something, watch this. If you know, J.D. Vance used to be against Donald Trump. J.D. Vance was heavily against Donald Trump. But guess what money do when money in the, hey, let's put that to the side and let's get some money. I'm not saying you gotta like Trump. I'm not saying you gotta like nobody. I'm saying what you gotta do to put you and your people in position to get some money. Keep your morals. I ain't telling you be immoral. Only, like I told my people the other day, who's invested in Netflix, I said, say, bro, I'm gonna take this loss on Netflix. I said, I'm gonna take this loss because I don't like when my money wrapped up around boycotts and all that. I don't like my money to be in that. So I don't care what it do. I'm gonna revisit it later, but I just wanna get out of that. I don't like when my money wrapped up. I like my money to be on a runway. I don't like that type of stuff around it. I got out of it. I was cool. I said, hey, y'all can stay in it. I'm not telling y'all get out of it. I said it like 3 times. I said, I'm gonna stay in it. I said, I'm gonna get out of it. Y'all can stay in it. There's certain things about me, I don't like certain energies around my money. Somebody say J.D. Vance is a clown. I ain't never said he ain't. I'm saying they talking about Bitcoin. You need to be paying attention to what they talking about putting in place so you can get some money. That's the problem. We don't know how to separate our dislike for somebody on how they tell what's money. That's our biggest problem. We don't know how to separate. That's why we can't get to the money, because we too emotional about who's saying it. Play the game, not the players. The players are interchangeable. I say, bro, I'm gonna get back in the Netflix play. I just won't get the other stuff around it. I just don't want to be in that. I don't like the boycott stuff. We're gonna get back into it. I just want to get around. I don't like that energy because I gotta pay attention to it too much when now that's going on. You in here to play the game, not to like the players, fam. The people who playing is just like the NFL, bro. They interchangeable. They gonna come and go. They gonna come and go. Your goal is just to pay attention to the rules that's being in play while they got the stage. That's what your goal is. What rules are they putting in play while they got the stage? Because that's the rules I got to adjust to while I'm in this part of the game. When they get out, there's a new sheriff in town that coming with a new team that got some new rules that I got to adjust to. Your goal is to play the game and pay attention to the players, not like the players, but love the game. Your problem is you keep trying to fall in love with your hate or dislike for the players. Bro, I could care less, bro. Because here's what I do know. When Barack Obama was in the office, the market went up. When Trump was in the office last time, market went up. Joe Biden was in the office, market went up. Donald Trump came, caused some chaos, it shook up, market back up. That's four different presidential terms. The market had a common denominator.
I'm in a bind, mate.
It made money. So that tells me I don't give a damn who in office, fam. Once you do your civic duty, you vote for who you gotta vote for, man, get your feelings out the game. Once you vote for who you vote for, that's a wrap. You done what you had to do. Stop being mad at people because, oh, you voted for this person. That's that person's problem. That's their business. Oh, you this. Oh, you that. Bro, I don't care who you voted for, bro. That's on you. Guess why? Because you voting with your pocket, whoever you are. Bro, I don't care. Get your money. Get your money. I'm not your friend. You not his friend. I don't care who you, bro. What's up, bro? Do you respect your family? You take care of your family, bro? You believe in God, bro? You believe in God? You take care of your family? You got morals and integrity? I don't care who you vote for, fam. That's on you. You don't got to tell me who you vote for. I ain't never had a friend that said you my friend or not my friend because who you voted for. Never in my life. I ain't never in my life said somebody was a friend or not a friend because of who they voted for, but yet for some reason, people be in their feelings about, oh, I don't like, man, shut up. Go get some money. Because I can bet you this. J.D. Vance ain't changed how he feel about Donald Trump. But guess what? He the vice president. And guess what? He get to get on bigger stages, and guess what? He get to get his money. Let's go a little further, man.
Hey, what's up, Trap? Ernest, man, calling out Charlotte, North Carolina. Just had a quick question for you. I did a NVIDIA cover call. I owned 100 shares of NVIDIA. Man, the stock price went up last week, and they pretty much bought my shares, so I had the cash. I had it inside my Roth IRA. But my thinking was, I was like, hey, should I take some of these profit that I made and pay down some debts? Or should I just, reinvest and just keep paying my debts out of my cash? I'm thinking I do want to just take the money. And I did buy some other plays. Like I bought an NVIDIA call option for March of 2026, a GLD one for the end of the year, and then the USAR for like 2027. So I bought 2 NVIDIAs, 2 golds, and then 1 USAR. So I took some of the capital from the profits to put on those. But I guess my question is just, when you're making these plays, like, what's the balance to like paying down your debt and then just reinvesting, to make more money in the market? Because, I talk to some people, they listen to Dave Ramsey, and he's always like, yo, just pay down your debt first. But it's like, if it takes you 5 years to pay down your debt, then you never invested, So I'm trying to find that sweet balance of like investing and paying down debt. That way I can sort of buy the freedom. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on that. Yeah, thanks. We trapping.
All right. Great question. Great question. I'm looking at the portfolio right here. Jose sent it to me. That was it, right? My only issue is it's in the Roth IRA. That's my only issue. Because if you take it out the Roth, they got taxes on that. But there's a penalty on it if you take it out. You feel me? So that's my only issue. Is if you take it out the Roth, there's a penalty for taking it out the Roth. So I don't want you to pay that penalty. So my advice from here is, let's start funding a new account, little by little, and we make some plays in a new account, and no, not on a contribution, on a profits. But why even get into that mix? Let's start a new account, and then okay, so people saying only on a profit you get taxed. That's the money we talk about paying the debt down with. He's talking about paying the debt down with the profits. The question was, do I take money from the profits to pay down the debt? Is that not what I heard, Jose? I could have sworn that's what I heard. I could have sworn that's what I heard. Right? So I wouldn't mess with that, bro. So I would let that ride. What I would do is, if I'm you, I would start another account that I would fund. And what I would do with that other account that I fund, so there is no mix-up, my goal would be a portion of every profit that I make would be going to pay down the debt. That way you actively paying down debt. while you getting profit. You can't touch them gains, bro. You can't touch them gains. That's gains. You get taxed on them gains. So that's what I would do. What I would do is I would start another account that I'm trading out of. I would still trade out my Roth IRA because you putting yourself in a good situation. I would start another account that I would trade from, and it could be a small account. And the goal behind paying a small account would be to build an account and pay some taxes down. And so that's what I would do. That way, because you on the right track with the Roth, bro. So I wouldn't even, you doing the right thing with that. You know what I'm saying? You doing the right thing with that. I would start a small account. It got to be a lot of money, $1,000. And the goal would be to, do that like that. Now, what I will say is this. And Dave Ramsey got a $200 and something million net worth with $85 million in real estate. Dave doing a lot over there. You know what I'm saying? What if he withdraw to take the penalty? I wouldn't withdraw. There's no reason to take the penalty. You started the Roth for tax-free wealth. Don't take the penalty. Just start another one. Just start another one. It's not hard to start another account. It's free. Why even go through that? Why even go through that? Start another account, build that account up. You making sure you rich when you retire. You on the right play. You doing the right thing. Start another account. In the other account, you just build it up. It don't even got to be right now. You could just build it up, build it up, build it up, build it up till you feel comfortable with it. It could be $100. It can be you on the right thing. Then just take the other account to do both of them. You pay the debt down and build the account at the same time. That's what the market is. That's what I would do, man. That's a great strategy. It's not worth taking that penalty on those gains. You're moving backwards. So that's what I would do, family. That's what I would do. I think that's a logical and a straightforward way to play the game. You already know what you're doing. You're using the covered calls, and you got some good plays. You in the Patreon. So we're going to have way more winners than losers, so you can still pay the debt down and build an account at the same time. That's what I like. You don't got to be in a rush to pay that debt down. If you making plays, them profit from them plays can pay that debt down. And then the dope part about that is, then you get the tax strategist to help you navigate that in a brilliant way. So that's what I think.
Yo, Trap, I'm back with another video. Hey man, I got a question for you. Looking at the charts, I'm having trouble spotting liquidity, and can you on the chart explain clusters? I'm having trouble with that. Thanks, Trap.
All right, so there's a few ways to look at liquidity. So remember, the market is always looking for some type of liquidity so it can move one way or another. Right, so I'll tell you a couple easy ways to look at liquidity. Anytime you see equal highs, that means when you see a candle and you see two wicks at the top, that's an equal high, that's going to be a liquidity. Anytime you see equal lows, that's going to be a liquidity. Anytime you see any type of fair value gap, anytime you see that gap that we showed up with AMD, that's going to be liquidity. The market always going to be running for those. What I'm going to do is I'll probably go live again this week in the Patreon, and I'll point them out to you. The clusters will be when you see those resistance points or those support points. People often, if you're a seller, you got it one way. If you're a buyer, you have it one way. There's a thing called buy side liquidity, BSL, and there's a thing called sell side liquidity, SSL. Those are where your clusters at. It's just like a bunch of orders stacked up at one time. That's all clusters are. It's just a bunch of orders. That's a key area that's stacked up at one time. Most of the time is where new investors going to be at. People who have their stop losses real tight, That's what cluster's gonna be at, right? So I'll show it to you when we're looking at that. So when we looked at I'll give you a prime example. We look at that AMD play, that 187. I mean, that 203, they're probably gonna have some clusters right there. That 187, there's some lower clusters right there if it came that far down. Because there's some people that believe, you know what? That AMD call gonna go back into that box. There's people that believe that AMD, even if it just, watch this, even if it just hit it with a wick, swipe that liquidity and jump right back up. Watch this. If y'all remember, if you're in a Patreon, you remember this. Not too long ago, I'll show you 2 times when we did it. Remember we did that QQQ put a while back? And it hit, all it did was stick the wick in it, and it shot back up. All it did was it got some orders and it been running up ever since then. We did that put, it hit it, boom, then it shot right back up. And the next time it did it was on NVIDIA. Remember? I was like, yo, we gonna get NVIDIA. I said, if it come to 174, I got it. I mean, 173, I got it. But watch this. It hit the top of the liquidity box. It didn't even go to 173. It hit 174.90 something. It hit the top of the box, got a little bit of them, and shot back up. I said, damn. I wanted to go to 173. It went to 174. That was the top. That's why I said, like, you got to respect that box because it don't even got to go all the way in it. It can touch the top of it, take some of those orders. Now, remember that the box is just to give you a visual. It's really just orders sitting right there. People, you know what I'm saying? So that's what it is, Miguel. It's orders that are left unfilled. And let me just give it to you from this explanation so you can understand it. Let's say the market, let's say there's 10 million orders. Let's say an institution wants to buy 10 million calls, 10 million, let's say an institution wants to buy 10 million shares of a stock at 103. Right? Well, when it gets to 103, when the institution takes some of the orders, because when the institution and I'm about to give you a term that you can go look up institutional footprint. Oh my God. I'm giving y'all some game right now. Y'all think I really be doing this shit now? Yeah, like, you feel me? Like, when I tell y'all I really be in my bag, like, I be in my bag, fam. Like, I'm gonna tell y'all why though. So there's a thing called an institutional footprint. So what happens is, here's why gap ups and stuff happen all the time. Institutions cannot get in certain positions all at once because it'll give away what they're trying to do. And as much money as they have, they be trying to be sneaky. You know what I'm saying? Because they know once their footprint is showed, everybody gonna follow. Watch this. Prime example. We all saw it. The minute, watch this. The minute we got whiffed that Warren Buffett was in United Healthcare, what happened? Through the roof. Now, crazy part is, watch this. We got the information 33 days later. Which means, if you go look at the chart, though, you saw United Healthcare was what? Moving up slowly but surely. Not a lot. You saw some small green candles pull back because he can't get in it all at one time. He got to get in it a little. It may take him 3 weeks to get in there how he wants. But what happens is once the market understands he's getting in it, everybody piles in. And now what happens is, guess what? Now he can't fill the rest of his orders. So because he can't fill the rest of his orders, guess what happens? He got to now wait. Ah, damn, they done got my money. Shit, I got to wait now. So now what happens is he wants to buy more orders of this company at this certain price. So now he gotta wait until what? It comes back down. So what happens is the market gonna do what? Run all the way up. People gonna look at that institutional footprint and run the market all the way up. But then what's gonna happen? Buyers gonna get exhausted. And so what happened? It ran all the way up to 300 or something, and then did what? Trickled his way back down. And then what he did? He was able to buy some more. And then when other people saw there was another, pop! That is a liquidity. He was able to come back, snatch those orders, and then when the market saw it go, somebody back in. They don't care who it is. It's back in. It pushes back up. And then it sets a what? Watch this. It sets a higher high, but it's a micro high inside of a macro downtrend. Oh my God. Because it's all, you gotta remember, it came from 660. So even if we get a set of higher highs, right, it's still in the overall downtrend that now has to break certain key levels, so the buyers so there's certain levels that the buyers have to accomplish to reverse the trend all the way back to the upside. Does that make sense? So that's what your liquidity comes in. It's orders, and that's why you hear other people say order blocks. That's another form of some demand zones or supply zones that's in the area. So you see orders that's sitting right there that gotta get filled. And so the way they'll get that is they'll start selling puts and they'll start selling certain things so they can defend a certain area so it can come back down. This is why people feel like, hey, that AMD call might, I'm not saying it's going to happen, because watch this. All gaps don't get filled. That's another thing you need to know. So all gaps don't get filled. But, so if you're looking at it, you're like, damn, bro, it was at 226. Shit, that thing down to, you look at AMD now, you're like, hey, it was at 226. We got some trapped sellers at the top. They're holding on for dear life. Because we done went from 226 to 211. They're like, bruh, help me. Right? Because they trapped. And then today's sellers got what? Trapped because they got the gap up. They thought we was going to go. It opened at 213, went to 219. They're like, hey, we good. They got trapped. Sellers rejected that. They're like, hey, shit, we might be going back to 203. Now, the dope part about that is 90% of gaps do get filled. I don't know. I'm going to have to look at that stat. I'm only going to say a stat when I know it. You know what I'm saying? I have to go look. I think you pulled that stat out the sky. I don't think you knew that for sure, Mac. I think you pulled that stat out the sky. I think you pulled that 90% stat out the sky. I don't know if you got that for sure. You hear me? Right? But then you got some people like, hey, you know, it might go back into that gap, take some of those orders and then revisit. But here's what you got to understand. Sellers got to get it back on top of 218. But guess what? Even if they get it back on top of 218, watch this. 226 is the big dog resistance. So you need sellers to get it above 218 and then above 226. So that's what I got for y'all, bro. That was our lesson for the day, man. I hope y'all had a good show. We had some more of that? That's good, right? I hope we had a good show. Man, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I hope you learned a lot tonight, man. You know, we pride ourselves on, one, just giving game. We pride ourselves, two, on helping you be able to navigate the market. And three, man, turning your last name to an asset. That's our goal with the show, man, each and every week, man. It's not about myself. It's not about Jose. It's not about nobody else on the team. This show is truly about you all. And we want to give you all the best information that we can give. And I'm not saying we're going to always be right. Shit, we ain't going to always be right. I don't think nobody in this game is always right. But we just want to try to make sure you can navigate the market with confidence and you can navigate the market with a sense of calm. And if we can do that, man, you know, we're fulfilling our duties, man. We're walking in our purpose. And that's all we want to do here. So with that being said, man, we love y'all. come join the Patreon, comment the word. I mean, I'm on Instagram, you heard me? Get in that. But listen, I want y'all to go look at the episode we just dropped on the Wall Street Trapper page. The episode, it's the last one we dropped today at about 2:30. I think the episode called the $7 trillion company, something like that. You know what I'm saying? Go check it out. We trying to get that page to 600,000, and then our goal is to get it to 1 million. You know what I'm saying? So we're pushing that. Make sure you get the downloads in on all podcast platforms. Pay Google Play, Spotify, Apple Music. That's the only thing that, makes Jose happy. Jose is not happy with our rankings on the podcast, y'all. I haven't looked at it because that'll be my goal, but everybody got different goals. So I want to keep Jose happy, right? We work hard so I need y'all to go to Apple and Spotify and download as many as possible and freaking share it. So we can get that. And last but not least, man, come on, man, get your pink hoodies, man. Get your pink, look, I'm about to walk to the front right quick so they can see it, yeah? I got the whole thing. I got the whole fit on. You know what I'm saying? I got the whole fit on, you feel me? It's comfortable, you know what I'm saying? It feel good. We got the flocking right here. We got the bubble right here. It's comfortable. Thread ain't cheap. We don't do cheap over here. You know what I'm saying? So go get your 50% off. You don't even need no code. You don't need nothing. Just get that. We don't got no hats right now. They gone. We're gonna get some more. But, other than that, man, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Man, y'all have an amazing night. We'll see y'all same time, same place next week. It's your boy, the Wall Street Trapper. Wall Street looks like us now. Salute.